Seriously tight, asshole.
What's up, everybody? I'm Kirk. Welcome back to the channel. Fallen Aces is a game that I've been excited about since announcement. Developed by Trey, Powell, and Jason Bond with the clever devils at New Blood Publishing, Fallen Aces is a first-person detective noir immersive sim featuring a slick comic book art style. Noir, immersive sim, comic book art, three ingredients that are mighty tasty by themselves, now put together in a hearty stew that's already making our mouths water. Gamers have been waiting patiently for more info on this one, and finally, just in time for Steam Next Fest, New Blood surprised its loyal fans with a demo. In today's video, I'll be giving you my first impressions on this highly anticipated indie treat. Is Fallen Aces looking like it's worth the bruised knuckles? Well, let's find out. But before all that, if you're new here and you're digging what you're seeing, please consider liking and subscribing to help support this channel. Alrighty, let's get sleuthin'.
Nothing hits you in the gut quite as hard as Nightwave's info drops. I'll probably burn through an entire pack of smokes once the night's up. Burn really being the optimal word.
In Fallen Aces, you play as Mike, who I'm guessing is either a private detective, hired muscle, or both. Mike is helping a masked vigilante named Nightwave try to figure out who's been knocking off the Aces, the Guardians of Switchblade City. Oh, Fallen Aces. I got it. The demo might be light on hard story details, but the narrative that was presented and mystery it hints at was intriguing, especially as it was conveyed sharply with comic book style cutscenes and good old-fashioned radio conversations, all so far voiced impeccably.
Welcome to Switchblade City, Mike. It's a pretty mean neighborhood with different gangs all vying for control. Not quite the gold tower you're used to, huh?
I think it's safe to say that the visuals of Fallen Aces are the biggest hook, with striking hand-drawn textures applied to blocky retro environments that feel as if they were rendered within the build engine, something I definitely mean as a compliment. Much attention has been paid to these inky environments, making for a retro-futuristic world that is believable. There's a lot of old works I can reference as possible inspiration. Naturally, Golden Age comics like The Spirit and Dick Tracy, but also German expressionist films like Metropolis and film noir classics like The Maltese Falcon. Although my millennial brain, raised on 90s television, was immediately reminded of Batman the Animated Series, which featured a similar aesthetic for its version of Gotham City. I especially liked the look and animation of the enemies, mostly because they reminded me of rotoscoped animation. Jordan Mechner's The Last Express kept coming to mind during my demo playthrough.
Clock's ticking, Mike, so listen up. The club where Delia is being held is close by. Go through the alleyway, then head on in.
In the demo, Nightwave tasks you with breaking into a mob-controlled nightclub to rescue one of his undercover agents who's been captured. As expected of an immersive sim, Fallen Aces is a game of options, with the goal to equally facilitate a quiet and sneaky playstyle or a loud and bloody one. For those that like it loud, they'll quickly get comfortable with Ace's melee system, which has a few more layers to it compared to your average shooter. Attacking has a good rhythm to it, with the player able to charge their attacks and cause some skulls to crack on the pavement. Although stamina is a factor, and spamming your punches will only exhaust poor Mike, so you have to be mindful. A secondary kick will give you some breathing room, or a wild ride for the bad guys. Enemies have clear tells to signal you when to block, and a dazed enemy can be finished off with a powerful uppercut or roundhouse.
And stay down, asshole.
Nice. You can also dash dodge in any direction using the left shift key along with a movement key, which took some getting used to as the timing for it can be tricky. It might be a good idea to make this a little easier to pull off for the full version of the game. Naturally, weapons can be used, both melee and firearm. Melee weapons are made up of lead pipes that can crush, and bottles that can be broken for some stabby. But be aware, all weapons degrade and will eventually break. A big thing to note is that most items in the environment can be picked up and thrown at enemies, and depending on the object and its weight, do different amounts of damage. Guns were not plentiful, at least in this demo, and when I did have a gun, my ammo was very limited. As far as I can tell, guns will probably feel more like a special weapon, meant to be saved and only used when you absolutely need them, but that is just speculation. A cool thing though is that if you do run out of ammo, you can flip that gun around and use it to pistol whip, which is mighty fun but will eventually break the gun. Ooh, that rhymed. Melee combat can be a tricky thing to make feel good in a first-person shooter, and so far Fallen Aces seems to be on the right track.
Face it, you got no friends because you're ugly, and you smell, and you're a dickhead.
If the quiet route is more your style, you'll find a familiar but sound stealth system.
Sleep tight, asshole.
We're not reinventing the wheel here. Keep to the shadows so you're not peeped, and stay crouched so you don't make a peep, with your character portrait outright telling you if you're partially hidden or hidden. Good, I like to be certain. Enemy alertness is always indicated on screen and corresponds to the enemy position, something I also appreciated.
Security up front's pretty tight, huh? Well, you can try fighting your way in if you're up for it. Just know there's always another way in. Your call.
But good stealth also needs good level design, and I was really happy to see the multiple sneaky paths laid out for the player, like this tried and true classic. When you reach the nightclub, you can either go through the front door, fists a-flying, or find a vent at the side of the building and sneak in that way. And when you're in the nightclub, you can either blast through the enemies, find the key to reach the upper level, or just sneak through and find the dumbwaiter. But I'm happy to say Fallen Aces does have some wiggle room for your own solutions to emerge. On one playthrough, I bypassed a locked gate I'd otherwise have to kill a goon to find the key for by simply placing a trash can next to the gate and hopping the fence. Taking a little damage in the process, but still progressing nonetheless. It's simple, but things like this are always satisfying to me, and I'm eager to see what sorts of systemic silliness I'll be able to do in the full version. Oh, whoopsie daisies. At the moment, I don't really have a lot of criticisms of what I've played so far, but there's a couple things I do want to point out. I'm a little surprised there's not a body hiding mechanic. It seems like since downed enemies can alert the upright ones, I should be able to pick them up and hide them. Perhaps the devs want to keep things simple or make stealth killing more consequential, but it's something I do feel I should be able to do, and I'm not able to do it, which is not a good feeling to have in an immersive sim. I'm a little on the fence about how death is handled, or not handled. When you die in Fallen Aces, you are teleported back to the beginning of that section, and all of your progress will go untouched. All the enemies you killed will stay dead, and any effect you've had on the environment will still be there. This is a very common mechanic in immersive sims, and one of the better examples of it are the Vita Chambers in BioShock. The good thing about this system is that it does keep players from being discouraged from experimentation. The bad thing about it is that it often takes a chunk out of the difficulty. And yeah, I'll admit, after playing Arcane's Deathloop, which limits the amount of revives per section to 3, I can't help but wonder if Fallen Aces needs something like this too. Because at the moment, the game, even on the hardest difficulty, is not terribly difficult. But of course, that's just my opinion after playing one level. For all I know, this is just how the demo works and the devs have some different mechanic cooked up for the full version, or maybe this game reaches a level of difficult that will make me beg for the revive system. Who knows? I certainly have to play the full game before I can have a stern judgment on this, but I do hope it's something the devs are thinking about.
Oh, shit!
Despite me picking on a few things, I'm feeling like Fallen Aces is shaping up to be one hell of a game. The graphics are fun and unique, the gameplay systems are looking solid, and the story has me intrigued. I was legitimately sad when the demo ended. It's hard to say when Fallen Aces will drop, but hopefully that date of soon will be in the closing months of 2021. Crossing my fingers. But what do you think of Fallen Aces? Did you have a chance to play the demo? Do you have any suggestions for the devs? Be sure to let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, please be sure to subscribe, like, and ring the bell for notifications on future uploads. It's a couple clicks for you, but a massive help for this channel. And be sure to come say hi in the Kirk Collects Discord linked below. I'm Kirk, and thank you for watching this video. Stay safe out there.